Hey, empowered badass breeders. Let's talk about having to document what you do. Unfortunately, so many people have been scammed. I still get people email me constantly like, they say they're a badass breeder, are they really? I have to remind people like, I'm not certifying anybody. I can't say what they're really doing. I can say I have a program that mentors and has educational material to help them be better, to level up their program. But other than that, like, I can't say what's happening in your house, right? Nobody can. So what you need to do, what I have found to be really, really important is you have to document. Like, at the end of the day, sometimes it just stinks. You don't want to be on camera. You don't want to take pictures. Sometimes you just have those days where like, I can barely just get through the day with all the other stuff I have to do with the puppies, let alone have to add this extra component. And I get it. I understand. However, the problem with the market, and rightly so, fairly enough, we can all agree, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. And that's just kind of been my philosophy from day one, literal one. If I don't document it, it didn't happen. If I don't have proof that we did curriculum, it didn't happen. If I don't have pictures, I can't show the conditions they were in, or how they lived, how they were cared for. Now look, it doesn't have to be all super professional. You don't have to hire a professional photographer or videographer. Just document. You don't even have to be on camera or in the video. Just film the puppies. My rule for curriculum is at least 2 minutes. So don't stress yourself out. Just a snapshot of the curriculum, because we all know sometimes we're dealing with poop all over, or they're just whiny that day. So I give myself permission to release this idea that things have to be perfect. So I'll get them in and I'll start working through curriculum. I'll guide any emotional response that I feel needs to be addressed. If they're being a bully, if there's some fear, I'll focus on my puppies first. And it's like, all right, 2 minutes, you guys, 2 minutes record, and all on your phone. You can then, I have an iPhone, but I know Android has the same capabilities. On my iPhone, I just upload it to iMovie. I delete the sound. I use one of their generic songs and I put it on YouTube, unlisted, and then email the link to myself. All while standing there. The puppies are still playing. They're still doing curriculum. So later when I get back on the computer, it reminds me, oh yeah, send the clients that link. Or in my case, I have a web page for each litter, and the clients can go there whenever they want, and they can look at the curriculum videos, and I just put the curriculum video on the web page. And I also use Flickr. You can use, there's other options, but I also then, while I'm filming with my iPhone, there's a white button next to the red filming button, and I click on that several times, and I'm taking pictures while I'm filming. So once I upload my video, then I go to my pictures and I upload that to Flickr. Every client has access to an album that I set up for that litter specifically as well. So you can lock it down or only give the clients access, so you don't have to stress so much like everybody's gonna see it and it doesn't look perfect and it's not social media worthy. This is just to give clients a true, authentic look at, here's the puppies growing. This is their journey with me. We've captured these first 8 to 10 or 11 weeks, however long you have them, for you, so that you can be a part of this journey. And I think that's really, really important to help build your reputation, to prove what you're saying, and makes clients really happy to be part of that journey. When happy clients, you know what else they do? They talk to other people and they say, wow, I've never experienced such a thing from a breeder, to have so much information and so much access to the puppies. And the other thing that happens is then you stop hearing, I want to come see the puppies. I want to come see the puppies in person, which we know is not safe. I mean, do what you want to do, but you've given them access to the puppies in a somewhat unfiltered way, truly, of them working through curriculum, pictures of the curriculum, pictures of them in the whelping box, pictures with them with their mom, pictures being held, pictures getting their bath. Like, just document. It takes 2 seconds, a few pictures. Dump it into the Flickr album while you're on the move. All right? So there's your tip for today. It doesn't happen unless it's documented. 2 traits in dogs that we see are passed on from their parents. One is being hand shy. What does that mean? That means when you go to reach for them, they duck their head. Now, most people think when they come across a dog that's hand shy that they've been what? That they've been hit. Most often not. You will start seeing this in your puppies at just 6 weeks old. When you go to reach for them and they kind of duck, pay attention to that. That will likely stay for the rest of their life. It doesn't mean they're afraid of people. It doesn't mean that they've been abused. It does mean that they do have a standard of how they're reached at, how they're petted, how they're managed. These are not dogs, by honoring them, I would not place in a home with a lot of kids where there's a lot of reaching and grabbing. I would not place in a therapy dog placement or even a service dog placement. These are great for quieter homes, more predictable homes, people that understand, hey, this dog requires proper appropriate handling. As we all know, you should reach for a dog anyway, especially a new dog, let them smell your hand from underneath, not reaching over anyway. So they just require that level of respect. I have found that I see that these same puppies do tend to lack in nerve strength as well. If you followed me or have taken my puppy evaluation course that I devised through years of tweaking, learning, tracking my dogs through therapy, service, family, companions, I have found that my puppies that were hand shy do lack in nerve strength, and that's the ability to manage and mitigate stacking stress. Okay, so if they're out on a walk and something startles them, if something startles them fairly quickly again and again, they don't do well handling stacked stress. They need to de-stress sooner than other dogs. Their nerve strength isn't as strong. But you'll see the hand shyedness in your lines, maybe in the mom, maybe in the dad, maybe in the grandma. So just watch for that. I will, with extreme caution, breed a potential parent that is hand shy, because it will get passed down to their puppies. Maybe just a few in their lifetime, but still doesn't mean they're a bad puppy. But if that's something we can avoid, I prefer to do that. The second thing is eye contact, also hereditary. So I love to find potential moms and dads that display good eye contact, because again, it's just their natural trait. But a lot of people tie eye contact to, does the dog love them? And that doesn't really have anything to do with it. So some dogs are just more predisposed to having natural eye contact. I have also seen, though, dogs that don't have great eye contact tend to be human submissive, so they're not as challenging to humans. The variable correction doesn't have to be as high. The amount of times you have to correct a dog doesn't have to be as high. You just give them a stern look and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I broke the rules, or I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do this, and we'll never do it again. Where other dogs are like, are you sure about that? I'm going to challenge you 16 more times, right? So I do also tend to see that dogs that don't have great eye contact can be human submissive. So there's 2 tips and tricks to look for in your program: eye contact, hand shyedness, and how that can translate to your puppies, and then how you can educate your families to honor those puppies. Here is my take on guardian contracts and surrender contracts, just as a whole of, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of you that have dealt with some really, really difficult situations when someone has your dog, whether it's in a guardian situation or someone returns a dog at any age and you do a surrender contract. Does that hold up in court? Is the law on our side? This is a very complicated, messy discussion. First and foremost, I am not a lawyer. Just wanted to get that out there. I'm not a veterinarian. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lot of things, I'll tell you that, but I do know a lot of things. And I'm just always sharing my experience with you. Take it or leave it. Okay. The problem is with dogs, and people have tried to come back to me too, hoping I can do something. They bought a dog, they got divorced, they're fighting over custody of the dog, and they're like, but I was on the contract with you, can you make sure I get the dog? No, I cannot. It is a family matter. It's a family court. They don't care about those kind of things. They consider a dog a possession. So it's not something you can fight for custody over, even what's in contract. It's depending on the state also. Let me do that disclaimer. States are different as well, but most often the dog's a possession. You have to choose who gets it, just like the car, just like the safe, just like the couch, just like the house. Like it's a possession, unfortunately. So when we put our dogs in a guardian home, it's a possession, and what tends to happen is the saying, possession is 9/10 of the law. So whoever has possession of it has ownership of it. So it is always risky to put a dog in a guardian home because the law may not be on your side. It may not. So just something to keep in mind. I've shared this in my mini series as well. I never let a dog walk off property in a guardian home that is the crutch of my program or some of my most cherished lines, or the last of one of my cherished lines, something I could not replace. And I know that sounds shitty, but at the end of the day, it's business as well. So I wouldn't have my favorite sire, you know, that is such a big part of my program, being a guardian home. I wouldn't have lines of a mom that are my best service dog, facility dog producing lines in a guardian home, because anything can happen. One, you may not get possession back. Two, accidents happen. So even just the dog ran away, the dog got injured, the dog got hit by a car, the dog drowned in the river when they were up camping. I mean, tragedy unfortunately happens. So that's my number one tip, honestly, is if your program would take a huge hit or suffer if you lost that dog, I don't put them in a guardian home. So I keep those dogs that are such a huge part of my program with me on my property. So it's very common for me personally, puppies that I have bred, I'll put them in a guardian home. I have the lines, and I'll put the puppies in a guardian home. So just my 2 cents. There's been a lot going on in the group about surrender contracts as well, guardian contracts. Can they be enforced? It's really difficult to find people, lawyers, judges, that will advocate and side on the breeder's side, essentially. So it's murky water. You may just have to really think about, is it worth the amount of money and mental energy and mental health to go into a lawsuit to try to get a dog back? Or is it worth it to you? You know, those are things that you have to answer at the end of the day. But I just want you to be aware, check your state. You can try to contact an attorney to help you beef up your guardian contract, but at the end of the day, a dog is considered possession. Possession is 9/10 of the law. If they're in possession of it, they own it, unfortunately. Same thing with the surrender contract. You can't make somebody give a dog back to you. 9/10 of the law. Thanks for riding shotgun with me today. Bye.